What's up? It's the Commissioner here, and I am back with your Week 2 breakdown of La Familia, whatever I call it, Blandino, Fantasy Football League, and let's break down the action. There were zero, and I say zero, close matchups this week. It was 6 straight blowouts. Ain't nobody had a chance unless you had a chance. Starting off with Team Ilucci Vinny versus Team Stingo, which is the closest matchup. Vinny won 99-85. Vinny was led by his number one quarterback, the number one quarterback in the overall NFL right now, fantasy football, Kirk Cousins with 28 points. He threw in 20 points from Justin Jefferson and had another strong performance of 16 points from Dallas. Paul had a bounce-back game from Lamar Jackson with 23 points. But when Tucker, the kicker, is one of your leading scorers, it's not a good sign. But don't worry, his backup kicker had 5 points. Moving right along to Rocket Rooster versus I'm a Worker. Matt versus Keenan, and oh God, Matt, your team. It's rough. It's rough. You are plagued by injuries. Come holla at your boy for a trade. Rocket Rooster winning 122-77. Not really close. Keenan was led by a big bounce back from T. Higgins with 2 tutties and 25 points. He also got 23 points from the Steelers defense. Let's go Steelers. And in other news, surprisingly, Christian McCaffrey is good at football. He had 21 points. Matt was led by the old man, Adam Thielen, with 17 points. Matt, with all those injuries, you better warm up that singing voice. Oh, la, la, la. Moving right along to Graham Sniffs Balls versus the leader of the family, Graham Sniffs Balls. Had 123 and Siobhan had 105. Ooh, that hurts. Little bro, big bro. Logan was led by 24 points from Saquon Barkley, but he really had a balanced attack. He had 7 players in double digits, and that's how you win games in fantasy football. Siobhan was led by her bench. Her bench had 102 points with one player who was suspended. Seems like a coaching problem if you ask me. Her bench would have beat 5 of y'all. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Moving right along to You Better Buckle Up, Buttercup versus a God, Amon Ben. And Buttercup came through with the 130-91, shellacking. Joey whooping up on Dom. Be nice to your big brothers. That's all I'm learning from this week. Be nice. Joey's big spending week paid off with Puka Nuka, 23 points, and Swifty with 26. Spend that money if you got it, honey. Dom was led by Rachaad White with 19 points. But Dom really needs a pop player in that lineup, and guess what? It ain't going to be Odell Beckham. More on Odell later. Moving right along to the Thursday night special game. Tons of points led it in this matchup were scored on last Thursday night, and that is Homies with the extra chromies versus Mega J, and that's Graham versus Jared. Graham came through with a 132-85 shellacking on Jared. Graham putting people on notice with these wins. He was led by Raheem Mostert with 25 points and a monster performance from TJ Hawkinson with 2 tutties. Patrick Mahomes also had 21 points for him. Jared was led by Jalen Hurts, who scored 2 butt-push touchdowns in that Thursday night game. 19 points from Debo, but that was about it for him. Poor performance. And now moving on to the last matchup. High score alert! High score alert! Oh, who did that this week? Bijan Mustard on some Oh, that's me! 134-82 against Cookin and Mixon and James. Not all little bros could beat the big bros this week. I was led by Herbert with 22 points. Tyler Lockett had a big bounce back for me with 22 points, and Bijan had 19 points with no tutties. Even more to come from him. Excited about some Bijan. James was led by Devontae Adams and Garrett Wilson. Adams had 17, Garrett had 15, and that was all on one play, I think. Dalvin Cook, his big flex play, had negative 0.3 points. Ouch. James, you could have played Tyreek Hill for James Special. Moving right along to free agents, and Dom spent $42 more than anybody for Kareem Hunt. The next closest person was nobody. That hurts. Keenan won the very active bid on Jerome Ford. A lot of people bidding on Jerome Ford. Keenan spent $30. He beat out James, Siobhan, and Joey, all bidding on Jerome Ford. Jared beat out Graham. Both of you guys put a $10 bid in on Tutu Atwell. The tiebreaker is overall record. So Jared had a worse record than Graham, so the worst record gets a tiebreaker. I picked up a defense. Big week for me. And Siobhan picked up Josh Reynolds for $5. But her bigger pickup that hurt me so much is she picked up kicker Brandon Aubrey from Dallas. And I am pissed about that. I really wanted him. I should have bid $1 maybe, but you live and you learn. Now on to next week, and we got some great matchups next week. Big 0-2 tilt. Two teams searching for a win, searching to get out of that loser's bracket later in the year. Matt versus Siobhan. We will see how that one goes. And then the next matchup that I am so excited about. And this matchup will determine whether or not Graham, in fact, does or does not sniff balls. Graham will be taking on Logan in that big matchup. Nextly, it'll be me versus Dom, and let the shit talking begin. I'll start off the shit talking right now. The Giants are going to get smacked this week. And I'm going to whoop your ass in fantasy football. It's that simple. Moving on to the Battle of Staten Island. James versus Vinny. The last two remaining Staten Islanders on the island. Moving on. Jared is taking on Keenan to see if anybody on that side of the bracket can finally shut Keenan up. Jared, we're rooting for you. We're all rooting for you to shut him up. And finally, the last matchup of the week is Joey versus Paul in the matchup that is titled, Joey, please don't do it to yourself. Don't let Paul beat you. You gotta hear it for a week. You don't want to do that to yourself. Well, that's it for the wrap-up this week. Signing out from the commissioner. I'll talk to you guys soon.